8:20. Tomorrow morning, we'll be davening at 6:10. Now for a quick Devar Torah. In this week's Parsha, there's actually a mitzvah that the Jews go to fight against Midian. It's the final chapter in that whole sorry history of the Midianites trying to destroy the Jewish people by Balak sending the women over to make the Jewish men immoral, and almost succeeding. This week's parsha, we have the final act where the Jews have to go to war against Midian, and they do that. But then when they come back, they're told you made a big mistake. You did not kill the women. It's like, wait a minute. How is that? You didn't kill the women? And the answer is very simple. They were willing participants. It's that in other words, they were not bystanders. When we look at the book of Ruth, the reason the ban on Moabites coming into us was because the men refused to help us, but the women were not involved. In this case, the women were very heavily involved, and therefore they would have to be punished as well. Sort of like there was a book written, I think, in the 80s called Hitler's Willing Executioners, where the Nazis could not have done what they did if the German people had not gone along with them, or other people did not go along with them. And in fact, we know, for instance, the Finns adamantly refused to do anything against the Jews. When the German army complained about Jewish officers in the Finnish army giving orders to German soldiers, they complained to the Prime Minister of Finland, and he said, well, these are Finnish citizens serving in the Finnish army. If you don't want us to be involved in this war, that's okay. We'll declare neutrality tomorrow. And the Germans backed down. The Bulgarians refused to hand over any Bulgarian Jew to the Nazis. Okay? And you're not dealing with great powers, but in each case, the Germans would back down. In other words, you didn't have to partake in what they were doing. You did not have to be a willing participant. In the case of Midian, the women were willing participants. They were as evil as the men. And if they hadn't gone along with it, then the plans would not have succeeded. So the Torah is telling you, don't be a willing participant in evil. And that is perhaps one of the most important messages that the Torah gives. Something to think about, Kaddish Rabbanim.